when is mindfulness not enough? Mindfulness usually includes following the breath, and typically the way it's taught around the world involves some kind of a internal silent affirmation. Here at Ananda we use the ancient mantra Hong Sa, which means I am peace, I am spirit, and so forth. But whatever word formula you may use or is taught to you by your teacher, mindfulness and watching the breath with an affirmation is typically not enough. I find students sometimes complain. In fact, I have here today an inquiry from one of those students who says basically that. I'm not doing well with the technique. I'm not finding myself able to focus. And so I had a couple of points I'd like to share with you, and that I shared in response to the email I received. And the first thing I always say to students who are struggling in meditation is to recollect to yourself why I meditate. Because unless you're motivated, I find for myself, I think all of us, when there's something you want to do, ain't nothing going to stop you from doing it. If you want to watch a movie or read a book or go for a run or whatever it is, that's what you do. So your motivation to meditate is absolutely key to having the kind of focus and concentration as you follow your breath and you use your mantra in order to really go deep in it. Because in truth, if you are motivated, you don't need anything else. But in reality, there are some extra things that can be helpful. First off, in our tradition, we teach to lift the gaze behind closed eyes somewhere around the point between the eyebrows and outward from there, about the arm's length or somewhere where it's comfortable for the eyes. I've also read studies in meditation that suggest if you have at least 2 and better 3 points of internal focus, that will help keep your concentration one-pointed. And so for us, here in this tradition, and for you, you might find that, okay, here are the 3 things to focus. 1 is the observation of the flow of breath. Now, where is that? That can be here in the lungs, yes, of course, but we find it helpful to follow the flow of breath in the nasal passages, rising and falling. And there's a reason for that. Well, quite a few reasons, but the important reason for today is that this flow is very close to this point of concentration at the frontal lobe of the brain, which is where our executive functions take place. And so the executive function here is I'm trying to focus. Now, when it comes to focus, one of the issues we have is we relate the word concentration to tension. And so let's forget the word concentration. Let's use the word focus. And when you really want to do something, you're not tense. You're enjoying watching a video, you're enjoying reading a book, you're enjoying going for a run. And so when we think of focus and we look up and we're focusing on the mentally following and feeling, let's say feeling the flow of breath and gazing here, we can add the word formula. That represents 3 different aspects of our focus. Now, here's another one. If you sit to meditate, but you ignore how your body is feeling, if you ignore your posture, then you're going to be fighting City Hall. The body's going to be crying out for attention. So let the body participate. In other words, maybe before you sit down or after you sit down, tense the whole body. Inhale and then exhale. Do that 3, 4, 5, 6 times if you're tense. And then check your posture. Head level, chest upraised, pull the shoulder blades back, relax the shoulder blades after that. Find that perfect posture where you feel like you could sit forever and not move a muscle. Now, can you do that by holding the muscles? No. only by relaxation can you really enter pure, calm concentration. Okay. Then, last thought I'd like to share with you is don't only practice mindfulness. Don't only practice Hong Sa. A part of your time, maybe a quarter of your time, should go beyond your practice into the still state at which you are receptive to being lifted into a beautiful state of inner peace. You can define that state any way you want, either devotionally or in terms of consciousness or in terms of energy. It doesn't really much matter. That's up to you. But you want to be open to being lifted beyond your simple, normal state of ego awareness. And to do that, you can't do that through willpower. You have to be receptive to being a greater person than you normally imagine yourself to be the best you can be. Receive.